In today's video, I'm going into people pleasing and energy vampires, or energy draining, and the behavior that I was in as a people pleaser, but also then how to put a stop to or be able to recognize when you're being drained. So continuing on the theme this week of people pleasing, I wanted to also go into the energy vampire, or people that drain your energy. And I have this one friendship that, like, we're very close friends and we've been friends for over 20 years. And we meet up, every couple years, and we travel and live in different places. So when we connect, like automatically, instantly, we start just talking away, talking and talking and talking. But there are moments in that where suddenly my friend, when he starts talking, it starts to get more and more draining on me. And the pattern that I've seen with this is that he will start to slow down and start to, it's like the engagement starts to kind of be like, I'm reaching here to try to stay engaged. But I need to stay engaged because me as a people pleaser is like, okay, I'm here listening. Okay, yes, I'm listening. I'm giving this. I'm giving and giving and giving and giving because that's what you want and need. And here you go, I'm giving more, and to the point of where I'm like, oh my God, I'm dying because it's being like sucked out of me. So in this example, it's someone that I would not call him an energy vampire, but someone that does drain my energy. And I don't have the boundaries as the pleaser here because I want to be giving and giving and giving. But it ends up us having, this horrible time because we're both kind of like, he's, kind of taking and taking and I'm drained. And then afterwards it's like, I can't give anymore. I'm done. The rest of the day I'm done, or even the next few days. So in this, like, he and I have talked about this. And for him, he starts going into a storyline in his head that's saying, oh, this person is not engaged anymore. I can see that my story's boring. So, it's like, oh, should I continue with this story? So he's questioning in his own head, and he's then creating that in reality. Like, he starts talking slower and creating that boredom that, like, oh yeah, I am then reacting to what he's saying and his thoughts of like, the story isn't that interesting, they're not engaged anymore. For me, as the people pleaser, I'm like, well, I need to stay engaged in this. I need to keep giving, not knowing that I can set a boundary. Not knowing that I can say, hey, I see that something here changed, like the energy changed. Because now that he and I have talked about this, we see, or I have seen this pattern of it does, like the energy shifts suddenly, where it's kind of like the story's going along and then suddenly, what just shifted? Like the energy, what just happened? So me as the, people pleaser here could say, hey, something just happened, what just shifted? Or another option would be, yeah, well, can you get to the point of this? What is the end that you're trying to get to here? Rather than keep dragging it out and it's like pulling more out of me. Or could possibly, even say, hey, can we come back to this story later? It's right now I feel that something shifted and we're both kind of feeling dragged down by it. As well, by saying, can we come back to this later? Another thing I know that he's mentioned, the friend has mentioned, is that he wants to feel heard. Like he wants to feel heard and seen. And those are his own, like childhood things that he's worked through. But he will get into these situations then of telling a story and he starts dragging people down because it then kind of creates this environment where he's not being heard. And then he feels hurt because he's not being heard. But we all tend to have these kind of tendencies where we create these environments for ourselves, where I'm going to prove myself right in this situation, And so here he's kind of proving himself right that he's not being heard. And so him, sharing that he wants to be heard, it's like, well, how can I then express from my side, I am hearing you, but at this point, this is too much for me. So it's like being able to set a limit and a boundary, but also letting him know that I care, that there is a compassion, that there is a, kinship here, that we're in this together, and I do care. So I bring this up in, having a few examples of boundaries for people that are draining. And I know that, like, when I've heard about energy vampires, I think about, the people at a party who corner you or something, and they're just taking and taking and taking. But I want to say that it's similar to what my friend is doing, that they're very unaware that they're, like taking and taking and taking from you. And I myself was very unaware that I'm letting it be taken from me because I feel like I have to be giving and on my side because I am that people pleaser that wants everyone to like me, and so I'll keep giving because that's what you want, that's what you need. But there is a time where it's like, no, I gotta set boundaries. I need to set boundaries, but can I set boundaries again with saying, hey, but I hear you, or hey, I still care. Coming from this place in yourself that is from compassion, but I need to end this now, or I'm gonna, like go walk over there now, or something. I'm gonna stop this draining kind of feeling, which I know between my friend and I doesn't really feel that great even on his side. So we're both kind of getting into a situation where we're both like, ugh, okay, we need to change this up now, So I share that as possibly a different way of looking at energy vampires or, energy drainers in a way. Because again, I think of, or when I think of the word energy vampire, it's like the ones that you think of, they're intentionally taking from you, like they might be narcissists, or they might be these people that it's like, oh, I need your energy to make me feel better. They might not even realize they're doing it either. But I wanted to just bring it to this other level of noticing for yourself, for them, it's like, well, why are they doing this, taking your energy? And I don't even know that people realize that they're doing it, but also setting up your own boundaries and being able to do it with compassion. So thank you for joining me today. I'm AmyC with You Finding You. I'm an intuitive and transformational coach, and I help individuals like you step into your voice, into who you want to be, into being seen and heard in yourself. And I have a coaching program. Feel free to check that out in the link below. And that also helps you see yourself, love yourself, connect to who you truly are. And again, thank you for joining me. If you are enjoying and getting value out of these videos, do hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And thank you. I'll see you in the next video.